I have been flying the Speedster 3 for a couple of months now, and I have found that it is my go-to glider for when I want a chill evening, possibly with a mission to get anywhere.
Seriously, what do I think of it? No, I flew the Speedster 3 this morning, and like traditional Ozone fashion, from the time you pull it out of the bag, you know, it's a great glider to just kite and get to know it on the ground. And then to my first flight, you know, I flew it with a couple notches of trim out, reverse launched, and it was good. Nice smooth takeoff, good climb rate. I think my most memorable experience of the glider, well, two things. It had a pretty, I like the speed range and the weight shift authority. Good flare authority too on landing. Landed, I think 2 notches out again. I just kind of landed it in the same setting that I took off with it in, which was on the red notch. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Coming from the Speedster 2, of course, you know, you're not really sure what to expect with the new glider, because sometimes you think, well, it's not going to be a big jump. But this one was definitely a jump. Like you even said, when you took it out of the bag, you went, is this lightweight fabric?
Yeah, it really looks and feels a lot like a lightweight fabric, like a Sirocco wing, but it's their standard heavyweight fabric glider.
And I think that's one thing that's really nice. And the launch characteristics showed that. I mean, here we're taking off with 1 to 3 mile an hour at most.
And we're at 4,500 feet.
Yeah, 4,500 feet.
Yeah.
And it really took off really, really well. I really enjoyed the takeoff characteristics of it, and the landing though.
Yeah, no, I thought it was awesome. I mean, I've flown the Speedster 1 and 2, and the Sirocco. Obviously, we've flown the entire range of Ozone wings, and I think what Ozone was trying to hit the mark on with this one, Kyle, is they were to get the Speedster kind of in between the Freeride Viper and the Spider. In the past, it was a little bit closer to the Spider and a little bit further away from the Expert wings, and I felt like this glider was more squarely between the two.
I would agree. I think it's that perfect in between, because generally what people want to do once they get past that Spider stage is they either want to do those really, really long cross countries with their friends and try to keep up, or they want to get into more dynamic maneuvers. Yeah. And this one does all of those things extremely well. The trim range is very long, and of course it has 2D steering that you can be tied in.
Right.
So having those abilities to be able to travel in a long distance with your buddies and, you know, let out those trims, and then if you want to, I guess, get down with it a little bit and throw it around, it'll do whatever you want it to do.
Compared to my Freeride, which is a big bucket of fun, but a lot of work to keep it on track, not oscillating, the Speedster 3 is a great wing to grab for a mission. When I'm flying somewhere, I have a waypoint in mind, and I might be doing something like checking my fuel burn, checking my GPS, checking my speeds and ETA calculations, finding new landing sites or landing options while moving. The Speedster 3 has turned into my preferred wing to grab for that sort of flying. The Speedster 3 is also a really fun wing to throw around. It is stable when you want it to be, but when you build a little energy and get a little bit deeper in the brakes, it has a very similar profile of how it likes to hold speed and dive to the Freeride, and it's drastically improved over the Speedster 2, where because of the older technology and the new stuff that they threw into the leading edge of the Speedster 3, it was really nice just saying, okay, I can lightly go into this maneuver and carry through so much of that energy and go much bigger with it.
I like the characteristics of having a glider that has both good, I guess, forward speed and flight, and then also being able to, play around with it, get some, good yanking and banking in there. So I guess takeaway is it's a good all-around glider.
So in the category of, let's call it sea gliders or cross-country gliders, one of the things I really love about recent Ozone reflex wings is that how nicely they blend in sort of the different profiles that you want out of a wing with this long of a trim range. A lot of wings have almost kind of a blockiness to the controls where it feels like, okay, as I'm changing my speeds, you can really feel kind of a step in the brake pressures, whereas the Speedster 3 has a really nice level between the 2D steering, if you have it tied in, and how that flows between each other, and just the linearity of the brakes when trimmed fast. So the Speedster 3 has a very impressively long riser system. From the onset, this gives me a lot of tools to put into my pocket for whatever flight condition I have. So for one, there is a big green section, which is always how I've treated risers, about what type of launch do you want. If we want to trim slightly slower, you'll have less speed required before you get lift, but the inflation is going to be a little slower. You can also trim it a few inches out past that and have a great launch zone where the wing inflates quickly and you can get off, run fast, grab a nice foot drag launch while taking off, and have a lot of fun that way if that's your launch style. Beyond the sort of neutral range of flying, the trim range is extensively long. It's a couple inches longer than the Speedster 2. And obviously that lets you go a lot faster with this wing. So if this is a type of wing where if you want to go somewhere, brake stowed and get some speed on it, that trim range is going to be a big friend of yours. The trim range also has a section where they ask you to only use the tip steering, which is really getting into that high speed reflex section. I've always recommended a C category wing as a wing for the pilot who knows what they're doing with their first wings. So we all love the safety characteristics of A and B wings. They're great for being resistant to pilots putting too much brakes and stalling them out, and being a little bit more generous on inflation when your technique isn't as good. The Speedster is no exception. Once you are fairly comfortable with how a wing behaves and it's intuitive for you of what's going on during launch and flight, the Speedster 3 is right up your alley. It's a great stepping stone into whatever your next missions in paramotoring might be. Whether you're a pilot that's looking for the next wing that's going to let you try your hand at pylon type energy dynamic moves, maybe go high, throw it around, get some big maneuvers in, or say I'm dreaming of something where I have missions to go camping hundreds of miles away, the Speedster 3 is the next step and a perfect wing for any of those missions.
When you're just constantly flying around, you don't have to worry about the oscillations that we get with those other gliders that are more advanced. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, this glider is an advanced glider. This isn't a get done with training and buy this glider. This is an awesome glider for those looking for that next wing after they have 7,500 hours under their belt, and they really want that next step up and something that they can really grow into.
Really neat wing. I think we enjoyed flying it, and Kyle and I, of course, typically fly the slalom style gliders, but I want to get some more time on this one, but I can really see myself really enjoying this for when I don't want to go up there and work as hard, and I don't want to have a sore shoulder after 15 minutes of flying. We hope you guys will take a look at it when you're looking at your cross-country gliders, when you're getting into your C, your more advanced gliders. I think Ozone did a really nice job with this one here. We're going to get to fly it some more tonight and tomorrow, and I look forward to getting to know it a little bit better.
I got some really good shots though, but
I followed you and my GoPro didn't turn on. I had to pull it off, pull my glove off, and then I was hanging on to it, filming you, and then I pulled my glove off afterward. I got some, stuck it on my helmet, and I got some really close shots, I think. So, and I was like, the sun is beautiful, and it looks really good. So hopefully, I want to check it out.